This is Group Ironman, like you've never seen it before. Klum, the Huntsman, Telecom, the Bard, and Christylize, the Scout. Restricted classes, randomized spawn locations, insane abilities. These legends will face the ultimate challenge. They will need to work together to survive. This is your Season 1 roster for Legends Survival.
Previously on Survival Legends.
And we are going to make our first ever trip down to the Catacombs of Korend. Here we are.
Hey guys, it's Klum from the future here. I've come to fill you in on some semi-important contextual events that actually lead it up to me heading down into the Catacombs of Korend at the end of episode 2. So before we get into our regularly scheduled episode, let me give you the fast rundown on what you guys actually missed in the middle of episode 2. First, I obtained a bronze med helm, finally from one of those men. Then I reached 125 total level, which unlocked me Port Sarim. You know, that chunk I needed before I could travel to pest control. On the way there, we killed a highwayman for our best in slot cape. Then we spoke with Chris and discovered that he had unlocked us Soul Wars, which in turn gave us Edgeville as a free adjacent chunk due to my Huntsman passive. After that, we went on a long woodcutting and fletching grind to be able to fletch steel arrows. We sold all the longbows and short bows we made to give us the money that we needed to buy our arrowheads at pest control. And with that, that concludes everything that you missed in the middle of episode 2. On to your regularly scheduled content.
Welcome to episode 3. So, last episode we unlocked a crap ton of chunks. Like, we went from this one to all of these. We have basically the entirety of Varrock unlocked. Now, there's a few things that I want to go for. These are my plans. I want this to be a fully combat-focused episode. So, this chunk here, the only requirement to complete it is to kill a bear. And I don't really want to flinch it right now, so I'm just going to leave that. And this one here, the only requirement that I've got left is to kill a mammoth, which are a lot harder to kill, and I probably would have to flinch that. But those both require combat, so that's the plan. Also, I have Barbarian Village unlocked, the Stronghold of Security, and collection log slots in this series. Every collection log slot is an additional chunk, as you've probably seen from some spoonage from my friends. But each scepter piece down the Stronghold is a new chunk. So if I can unlock that and get the scepter pieces, that's 4 chunks if I get all 4, and even if I only go for 1, it's a chunk, so the options are there. Now the next question is, where do I train? Now, I've obviously got the Wilderness, but I've also got Varrock. Now I can't access Falador yet, but I do have quite a few training methods, and the one that I think I'm actually going to do, because it's going to be nice and chill, is the men in this house in Edgeville. They'll drop herbs, which I can bank, and it's just easy experience. They've got no defense, it's not like the skeletons where I'm barely going to hit. Not gotta flinch him. It's just straight training. So I'm gonna go there and do that until maybe even 30, 40. I don't know. I'm just gonna go kill a load of men. I'm just in a cursed bard mood. You know, just where I want to just put some metal on and go slaughter a household of men over and over? Let's do it. And we've actually got food now. Nice.
Almost forgot my buddy Christylize here wanted me to stop in at the food store here and buy him some pots of flour. So we're going to stop and buy some pots of flour here for him as well. Got those.
So Klum actually got me a pot of flour from the, Port Sarim, the general store there. He's got a whole bunch of good items from there. So I appreciate that, brother. All right, Cook's Assistant completed. Super easy quest. I just realized that Klum put a whole bunch of trout in the shared storage. He doesn't have cooking unlocked. So I'm going to take these while Telecon is asleep to get myself some extra experience. Okay, 33 fishing. Not necessarily a big level for me at the moment, but the biggest thing is that gives us total level 225, so we do gain another orienteering token. There we go, orienteering token has been added. We also get a chunk unlock. I'd just like to mention something before we do this chunk unlock. I really got to start paying better attention to my rules as well as my bonuses, because I've been selling myself short on a couple of things. For starters, the rule that completing chunks where we make them clear where all the tasks are completed. Anytime we complete a chunk, we should be unlocking an additional chunk with that. But I haven't been counting those as chunk unlocks up until this point. I don't know why. It completely slipped my mind, and I'm sorry about that if that makes any confusion. But we have it in the official rule document for reference if you'd like to check it out. And it's been there since the beginning on page 1. So I will be unlocking 4 chunks. And the chunks I'd like to unlock with that, the first chunk I'm going to do is the teleport here for Ferox Enclave to get the bank out here. And the second one I would like to do is the Ferox Enclave West Lumbridge Swamp. The fourth one I'm going to do is this top right corner. And I'm going to double check this one, but I'm pretty sure this one is a freebie for us. All right, here is the chunk. Northeast Soul Isle 9262 is the one we're looking at. If we check here, there are no monsters, no NPCs, no item spawns, no shops, obviously. There are some regular trees, which is only level 1, fletching, woodcutting, and fire making. No quest progression. There is an elite clue step, which doesn't really matter, and this is not connected to anything. So therefore, 9262 is our 5th completed chunk. We now have access to Hunter, which is fantastic because I can literally train Hunter right here. I'm about to slam out so many levels. So excited, guys. I can't wait.
All right, we grabbed some food from the bank, and we are going to make our first ever trip down to the Catacombs of Krend. Here we are, and as you can see, there are some tiles already marked over in this hill giant spot. That's actually from another account of mine. These are just some of the safe spots that can be used over here. All right, we're coming up on our first hill giant kill here in just a second. It is going a little bit slow. I'm not really happy with how long it's taking, so probably going to start my range training somewhere else for right now. And our first drops we see is a beer. All right, we'll take the big bones though, and we'll get out of here. So we've just been sitting here training some ranged, and we've got ourselves a beekeeper random. Let's hope for a unique. And we got ourselves a unique. Got the Beekeeper's Top. Let's go. That is going to be another free chunk unlock for us. I'm going to take a look here at my map, see what I want to do with it, and then we'll be right back.
As of last episode as well, we have 4 blessing tokens. Now that lets us unlock 3 adjacent chunks of our choice. So anything connected to these we can unlock, or we can give them to Chris or Calum. Now I might do that in a future episode. I don't have a use for them for now. I'm going to try and unlock some chunks of my own accord, but the blessing tokens are going to be huge if I get like Mauritania, because these chunks could be a nightmare. Let the slaughter begin. Now we're just going to train strength straight to 20 first, I think, and then we'll do attack next. Jeez, we just hit 12 strength and 14 hit points on the same tick. That felt good. That puts us at 111 total, 14 to go, and I'm whacking these 3s out. Ooh, beginner clue. Draenor. Nope. It's absolutely incredible how much better this is than flinching skeletons. I get to actually hit every 4 ticks. I'm hitting most of the time. Jeez, I've got like 3 strength levels in 10 minutes. This would have taken 4 hours before, maybe? Absolutely insane. Well, let's keep going. The goal for now is 2020.
With this being our 5th completed chunk, we also get 1 more chunk unlock. And with unlocking Ferox Enclave, Castle Wars, there is a Castle Wars teleport portal right here. Castle Wars becomes adjacent, so I'm going to unlock Castle Wars. Now comes the part of the chunk phase where we look at our bonuses. Remember, farming patches and fishing patches are free. So the first one we're getting is right here, the Clock Tower chunk. And these should have already been unlocked before, but Draenor Village is also unlocked because we have fishing here. Port Sarim is unlocked because we have a farming patch here. Southfeld, our farm, is unlocked because we have a farming patch here. I think that's everything. I'm going to just double check and make sure, because I'm not going to sell myself short again. Okay, with Port Sarim, Remember, transportation areas are considered adjacent chunks as well. So if let's double check at Great Corinne. This is the drop-off zone for Port Piscarius. So there's no fishing or anything here. The next one is Entrana. I know that Entrana has fishing on it in this chunk, so we get that. And then there's also a farming patch here, so we get all of Entrana. Let's double check KlumJK. KlumJK is right here. KlumJK does have anchovies in this chunk, so we do get that chunk. And there's lobsters right here, so we get this one. And there's a farming patch in Remington, so we get Remington unlocked. I would say we would get Catherby, but I have no way to get to Catherby. This is not an adjacent chunk because I can't walk there. That's everything for now. I'm gonna go through and add the tasks for all of the adjacents. All right, I've been adding all my tasks in here just so I can keep track of them. By unlocking the Castle Wars chunk, we will have to get a Castle Wars cloak and a Ceridome and Halo, or whatever respective god we choose on that. We'll have to get the adjacent unlocked for that.
All right, so after looking at the map for a minute and discussing some possible options, what we've got here is what I think could potentially be our first chance at unlocking a boss for the account. Now, this would be huge. I would need to roll a 5 north of the Corinne Castle, or at least a 4. So I have Christylize here with me. Say hello.
What's up, man? And he's referring to the orienteering token.
Yep. So as I was just about to mention, I have one free chunk unlock, and then on top of that, Christylize has earned himself another orienteering token, and he and I have been discussing gifting one to me again in the hopes here that we can roll up to Wintertod. If I can complete 50 rounds of Wintertod, that will give me my first bounty hunter token. I think what we're going to do is we're going to exchange the orienteering token, pull up the wheel spinner, see what we roll, and go from there.
Okay, so we got a clue, and it's to panic at Al-Kharid Mine, and that is just one chunk away from here, and I've got this one unlocked, so I could use a chunk to unlock this. Let's go have a look at it. Interesting. I've just ran to this chunk, and I got the Impulses soundtrack, which is for Puro Puro, which means this field must have a ringing, but that puts me to 70, meaning that I've got 6 chunks now for music. That's awesome. Okay, so we are going to unlock this chunk, and that is using one of the music chunks. So we've got 6 unlocks. We've used one, that's our second, so we've got 4 left. We can use this to unlock a chunk at any time. Now, clues are important because if you actually manage to complete a clue scroll, we actually get chunks from it. Beginners are one whole chunk, so this pays for itself, assuming that I can complete the rest of it. Now, this chunk also is really good. It's got an imp, and 3 more music tracks. Okay, that's another chunk, so we've got 7 that we can use, and we've used 2, 5 left. Awesome. So for me to complete this chunk, because I don't have mining as a bard, all I need to do is kill an imp, kill a scorpion, and kill an imp until I obtain a blue wizard's hat. If I can do that, this isn't actually complete. So I'm going to kill some imps while I'm here. That's why I've brought some food, and maybe I'll just train on some scorpions for a bit. But let's see if we can do this clue. First things first, let's try and kill a scorpion. Get that one signed off nice and quick. Okay, scorpion down. That is one of 3 tasks complete in this chunk. Now let's do the clue. Not a casket. That's Falador. Wait, we have that chunk, right? Oh, we nearly do. We can actually get there, but we'd have to go through... Can we get down there? I think we can. We just unlocked some more music tracks, so let's just go ahead and do this. Back up to Varrock we go. I'm a bit of an idiot. I do need to get a spade. I'm not actually sure if I own one. Look, I remember there's a spawn up here. Yoink. Okay, spade got. Okay, we used our 3rd music unlock to get this chunk, and we have 4 left. Let's see if we can get a casket. We can't. Varrock with a gold ring and a gold necklace. Well, it's unfortunate, but I don't have crafting, and I don't think there's a way for me to get those items in the chunks that I've got available, so we're gonna have to drop it. But these aren't a waste of chunks because these are repeatable beginner steps, and now we've got access to the Dwarven Mines.
So the nice thing at Draenor Village is I do get this seed market, so now I can actually start training farming. So I'm gonna get just like all these allotment seeds, a couple of hop seeds as well. We'll just buy these out and see anything good from Diongo. Get this rainbow scarf, I'll wear that. the cabbage cape. All right, let's throw that on. There we go. We're looking like a true scout now. Get this wreath and we'll put that on. Oh, we are balling out right now. So now I can start raking all of these allotment patches up here in the South Faldor farm. Let's get our first potato seeds in, throw in some compost and level 3 farming. All right, this is super big. We're over in Port Sarim. And let's see, here's the pineapples. Let's just buy out. Anything else good we can get over here? Yep, that's about it. Let's go back. I've just loaded up on some bait from the fishing shop here in Musa Point. Well, no, I guess this is Port Sarim. This is Musa Point. But yeah, I've got that so that I can do some bait fishing over at Draenor while I wait on my crops to grow. And I'm also trying to supply some raw food for my teammates to train cooking.
All right, so we have got our picker wheel lined up here. We are looking to roll either a 4 or a 5. If I roll a 5, I'll be able to spend my free chunk unlocked from the random event somewhere else. If not, if I roll a 4, then we'll be using that extra unlock to unlock the actual chunk of the Wintertodt game mode. So without further ado, here we go.
Let's go 50-50.
50-50, what's it gonna be? Oh, shit. All right, we rolled a 3. We rolled a 3. So we're gonna be 1 chunk short from Wintertodt. That's all right, though. I believe with these chunks unlocked within our way up there, a couple of them are pretty much freebies to be naturally completed, and with those naturally completed ones we'll end up just using one of those naturally completed chunks to unlock the last one as well. All right, so we're going to go ahead here. We're going to unlock 1, 2, 3. On top of that, we're going to use the free one from our beekeeper's top as well, so that's going to make 4. All right, so after looking here for a minute or so, after rolling those 3 chunks with the orienteering token and then using my free chunk unlock, what we have here in the Wintertodt camp chunk is there's actually no task to do. So this is going to be our first official naturally completed chunk. With this naturally completed chunk though, right here at the Wintertodt camp, that gives me 1 more chunk to roll, or to unlock, sorry, and that's going to give me access to the actual Wintertodt tile. And just like with Wintertodt, if we look at the task, we're gonna see that I need to get the dragon axe, and we do have some skilling requirements on here as well. Obtaining the full pyromancer outfit will be a requirement, as well as getting that Burma torch is going to be some important items to get. So we'll have a little bit of a grind up here. I know Wintertodt is not everyone's favorite thing to watch. There are incentives to go here. We need to kill Wintertodt 50 times in order to get our first bounty hunter token. With that bounty token, we will be able to roll our first boss unlock for the whole team. With that boss unlock, that chunk will become unlocked for everybody. So we do have a reason to go up here. We will be here for a little bit once I hit that 50 fire making, but it'll be worth it.
Okay, I've just noticed something pretty huge as well. As we unlock this Alcarid mine chunk, I didn't even consider this at the time. This chunk's got a cooking range. This chunk's got a cooking range, and then we get Lumbridge, because this has got a pub and obviously cooking ranges. That's 3 more chunks we've got from our passive. I feel like I'm getting a little bit overpowered. But that's Alcarid unlocked, which means we do have access to some cool armor shops. And the sim shop. And there is 20 strength. That is so much quicker. Okay, we're going to get 20 attack now because we've got Alcarid for the sim. And there is 14 attack. Now, that gives us 125 total, which means we naturally unlock another chunk. And we have to do that right now. So let's go. I said naturally unlock another chunk. I meant just unlock another chunk. So obviously to naturally complete it, we have to actually do everything inside of it. Here we are. If we have a look around, I'm not too sure what I want to do, but from what I can see, the best method of unlocking as many chunks as possible in the area that I'm in would be to unlock the Dark Wizard's Tower chunk. Now, I can't get through to this without the agility shortcut, and I haven't got agility, but if I unlock this, I get this for free because of the range, and I also get Catherby for free because the door to the cooking range is there, and there's one up there as well. So I think that's really beneficial. There's technically a bard down in that dungeon, but because it's in a dungeon, it doesn't count. So that's all I'm doing for now. So I've used it to unlock the Dark Wizard's Tower chunk, and then I've got these two unlocked.
And we just hit a big number there. That is 20 hunting. So I can now do 2 snares. And that's going to speed us up so much. Well, guys, with this bird snare, we now have 27 hunter, and we can bare hand catch baby implings now. But there's level 45 woodcutting. We can now chop maple trees, which is great because we do have that Isle of Souls chunk over here. One of the tasks is to chop maple trees right here. Actually, we only need 45 fletching, 45 fire making, and then I can go over and complete those eventually. Nice. We got a clue scroll and a lobster. That's not a bad pull at all. And let's check out that clue scroll. Look at it. South of Draenor Bank. Nice. Well, I'm in that chunk already, so I'm gonna run over and dig that up. Okay, dig. Oh, sick. Bob's Axes. No way, we got the casket. Completing a beginner clue scroll awards 1 chunk. What we get in our casket. Oh shit, look, check this out. We got steel full helm, hard leather body, and steel battle axe. I mean, it's not great, honestly, but it is armor and items for my teammates to use, which is all the more worth it. And I already know what chunk I want to unlock next.
All right, so we are changing up plans now a little bit. Since we've unlocked those Wintertodt tiles, with having that unlocked, that has given me access to now train my fire making to level 50 to access the boss. So we're gonna sit here for a little bit, cut some trees down, and get our fire making up to 50. Probably just gonna skip over the really early levels, and we'll see you in a little bit. There's 30 fire making. We're gonna move on to willows now. Alright, and with this inventory of willow log, we are just going to hit 39 fire making right now. While 39 fire making isn't a great achievement in itself, we did just hit 225 total level. So that is another chunk unlock for us. So if we go here and look at our world map currently, did unlock this chunk yesterday. What we have is we have access to Wintertodt when I decide to go up there. However, one thing that I wanted to do before going to Wintertodt is buy a house. While I don't have access to the construction skill right now, since unlocking Wintertodt, and Wintertodt does give construction experience, I can go to a house or to a estate agent to buy a house. So with my next chunk unlock, I am going to go ahead here and unlock the Hosidius chunk. That's going to give us access to the estate agent. There's another bank. There is the food stall to steal from, master farmers to steal from when I eventually unlock the thieving, another general store, which is closer to a bank, which would be really nice for when I need to sell short bows, long bows, things like that from the fletching grind. So all around, this is a pretty good chunk unlock for us. We'll go ahead and we'll take a look at the tasks that are in there in a little bit. But for now, we will go ahead and buy us a house.
Now, for the keen-eyed of the viewers out there, you might have noticed in that last clip that I had an easy clue scroll, and it's only down at Horvik in Varrot. So if I carefully don't enter the GE chunk, we can go and see if we can complete this. And I believe easy clues are 2 chunks for a completion, which would be so good. I can't even go this way. Damn it. Let's go around. Step 1, Dwarven Mine. Wait, we can actually do that now because we unlocked that chunk. We did get some more music tracks, taking us to 76, which gives us 24. So we've got 8 chunks, so we've got 5 available. And could we get lucky? Nope. Falador Party Room. Haven't I got that chunk as well? But how do I get into Falador? I guess the music track that I've just unlocked, I'm going to use on this chunk. I think that's a good idea. 3 more music tracks for unlocking Falador. That is not bad at all. So that gives us another chunk unlock that we can use in an emergency. I do feel like 3 for Bard is really overpowered here. I think we should have made it at least 5. It's a learning experience for season 2. Step number 3. Oh, still not a completion. That means this one's guaranteed, but it's Rimington. I can just squeeze through there, so I'd have to use 2 chunk unlocks. But it's a guaranteed clue, which would get me 2 chunks back. So I think this is worth it. Before we go though, if I go down here, I get another music track. Museum Medley. So I'm going to be unlocking this chunk, and there's a cooking range in Rimington, so I get that for free. There's a pub in Port Sarim, so I get that for free. And then that's it for there. And then there is a cooking range in this chunk. Now you might be thinking, oh, this is far more OP than a chunk man account. What's the point in even having chunks if you're unlocking them all like this? And that's kind of the point. It's meant to be a more fast-paced, team-based mode with an end goal. But you've got to bear in mind, I haven't even completed a chunk yet. Completing a chunk unlocks me a new chunk and gets me a naturally completed chunk. And for us to progress, we're going to need 150 of them in total to unlock all the non-combat skills. And to do that, that's going to take a long time. So there's a lot of content here still, don't worry. Another 3 tracks. Every time I'm entering a chunk, I'm basically getting a new one. This is far too strong, man. And that's more music tracks. Now that puts us to 32, which means we have 10 chunk unlocks. We've used 5 so far in the series. So we have got 5 emergency chunks left. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, the first clue scroll of the account. That's the casket, that's 2 chunks. But before we unlock them, let's see if we get a unique. Oh, we got 2. We got 2. That's 4 chunks we've just got from that. That was well worth it.
All right, folks, strap in. These are all the chunks that we currently have unlocked. We're at 36 unlocked chunks. You can see the task over here in this list. I've already gone through and removed the ones for skills that we don't have access to, with the exception of combat skills. So everything in here should be correct. If I find one that's wrong, then we can remove it. Now, there's 213 tasks on here. And not going to go through every single one of them because honestly, the point of this series is not to go into a complete chunk completing spree, at least not in the beginning. You do want to focus on getting your tertiary skills, which thankfully we were lucky enough to get blessed over here in the Isle of Souls by getting these 5 taken care of. So that definitely helps us out in that respect. However, the next big one at 15 completed chunks is going to be a bit more daunting. If only there were 15 more free chunks on Isle of Souls, right? Nah. So let me just give it to you guys as easy as possible without going through every single light item on this. The reason why I'm not focusing heavily on completing chunks on the mainland or over here in Kandarin is because a lot of these chunks, especially these when you start getting into these heavily populated areas, a lot of these are locked behind quests, and a lot of these quests have kill tasks included with them. Like if you look at this list, I will show you one part of it. Let me actually just break all these down so you can see. Here's the quest table, here's the diaries, here's the collection logs. Hold on, actually we need this. Let's go here. So starting right here with the Outcrewed Warrior, these are all kill tasks. And this is half the list. If you see where the cursor is right here, like this is literally half the list. And I don't have access to combat yet. Mainly we're working on opening up the map, or we're mainly working on getting our total level up to 500 because I really want to be able to get some combat skills unlocked so I can start slamming through these kill tasks. Once that happens, that's when we're going on a chunk completion spree. But let's get back to the content real quick. I want to show you guys my next big move.
Just missed a pop-up, but that was 45 fire making. Alright, so we're going to take a little bit of a break here from the fire making grind that we've been working on for probably the last 2 hours or so. We're sitting at 45 fire making, got ourselves up to 48 wood cutting as well. Definitely going to hit 50 fire making probably in the next hour, hour and a half. It just depends on how hard I go at it. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a little break, and we're actually going to look up at these chunks here. So if you remember earlier, I explained that there are no tasks in this chunk just south of the Wintertog game, which was a naturally uncompleted chunk. Just south of that chunk in the Arceus library, and then where the fairy ring teleport is, there's only a couple tasks that I actually need to do in those spots. So if we look here on the chunk picker map up here, what you can see is that in these 2 chunks right here, one south of the Wintertod Bank area, we just have to kill a bat and a giant bat to complete this chunk. And then if we go down to the Arceus library chunk, while I don't have rune crafting and magic unlocked to turn in the books, those aren't tasks I'll need to complete. I will need to find the book Soul Journey to start the mini quest Bear Your Soul, and then I will need to complete the Corenda Easy Diary of handing in a book at the Arceus Library. We're gonna make our way up there. We're gonna complete these 2 chunks, and when we complete these 2 chunks, the plan is to come over here just south of Edgeville, and we're going to unlock Barbarian Village and Draenor Manor. When we get there, I'll kind of explain a little bit about what sort of tasks we need to complete over there. But until then, let's make our way up to the Arceus Library.
We're going to unlock our way into Taverley. So 1, 2, and then that unlocks this because it's got a pub. We may as well just finish it off entirely and unlock the Taverley chunk with the dungeon. That's 3 chunks used. And then we will unlock here to get an altar. That's all 4. Okay, so before we do anything else, I'm going to take it into my own hands to nerf myself. Okay, so obviously this has all been a little experiment. Originally we suggested 10 to 12 music tracks for a bard, but it did seem like a bit too many, but 3 is obviously far too little. I've currently unlocked 33 music tracks, so I currently have 11 chunks, right? I've used 5. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make the music tracks for a chunk 6, and because I've actually used 5 chunks, I currently have 0 available. So I need 3 more music tracks to unlock another chunk, and from now on it's 6 music tracks per chunk. I think that keeps it a lot fairer. On that note, however, let's go and pray at some altars that we've unlocked. And there is altar number 6. We have also got 3 altars in this one chunk, which is insane. But I'm only going to pray at the Druidic altar one for now, because I can't get to this one yet. And the Zamorak monks are in this one, and I don't want to misclick and die. So I'll just do the 1 for now. I did just, however, get the best music track in the game. That should be a chunk on its own. There's another prayer altar at 6. We have Lumbridge unlocked now, so we can go use the altar there as well. And there's number 7. Okay, back to training attack. Did just look at the map while I was training and noticed that there's a cooking range here as well. So I'm going to unlock that. Just got 19 hit points and 20 attack is imminent. There we go. Can now wield mithril weapons. On that note, I believe one of our good friends has left us something in the group storage. Look what I just found in the group storage, a myth sim and a blue wizard's hat. Speaking of naturally completed chunks, the one that I'm in right now, the only task is to kill a grizzly bear. So if I go do that real quick, grizzly bear down, that means this is our first natural chunk completion. So we can mark this off as fully unlocked. Nice. At 5, we got our first tertiary skill, which is woodcutting or construction for us. Okay, now that that's done, we actually have an unlocked chunk. And all I'm going to do with that is just connect this up for now.
But before I unlock it, I want to mark all of the adjacent chunks that I will be unlocking with this chunk, just to show you how huge this chunk unlock is to us. All right, I'll go through this quickly for you guys, but I am going to unlock this. So this will now be my first chunk unlock for this. The northern chunk has a fishing location in it. The southern chunk has a fishing location in it, but this is still adjacent and on the same island. So I will have to unlock this chunk before I can proceed forward, but that's okay. The next one we get is the vinery. The western chunk has a farming patch as well. The western chunk to that has a farming patch. The northern chunk to that has a fishing patch. The western chunk to this one has a fishing patch. The western chunk to this one has a fishing patch right here. And the last one is this for the southern fishing chunk here. This is what I mean when I talk about Scout being the best legend class on the roster. Now, the bright side, we get access to all of these chunks. The bad side is I probably won't be able to complete a lot of the things in here for a long time. I'm going to have to grind a lot of Fastidious Favor. These particular chunks have some pretty high requirements in them. There's fishing sharks in here. There's getting 100% Fastidious Favor. There's the killing the lesser demon in here. There's the elite guards over here. So the 1 in 512 drop for Rune Scimitar and Rune Kite Shield in here, which is what Klum is dealing with right now. You can see he's having a real tough time maneuvering current, but my Scout, I would say, is specifically made for Hosidius in that we can just pretty much unlock most of it now. We don't get the bank chunk yet. Now, the Forthos dungeon is here, so this particular chunk is insane. We'll have to do all of the tasks in here, but once I unlock combat, I can start whittling those down and knocking them out. I will update the map when we get over there. I'm probably not going to go over there yet because I want to unlock this chunk first, just so I can move through it. And I'm getting pretty close, so that'll be the next one we get.
So we're stepping into these new chunks up here for the first time. Kind of get to explore a little bit, see what's up here. We won't be able to complete this chunk that I'm in for quite a while, as there is a Head Shazian Guard, which does have the 1 in 512 Rune Scimitar and Rune Kite Shield drop, so will be a while before we complete that one. But here we are at the Arceus Library, and I'm gonna go ahead and look for some books.